What if I told you there was an app which paid you to order pints, or maybe pay you to take a few photos at the chewing gum stand in Tesco's, or even pay you to answer questions on your phone while you're stroking your lovely cockapoo? Cockapoo not included. And all this can be done on Roamler, which is a very unassuming app that you can find on any smartphone. It might be just the best side hustle that you've never heard about. So, what's it all about? Well, brands want to make sure their products or promotions are being displayed properly in stores all around the country, but it's just not feasible for them to hire somebody just for this purpose, to visit every single supermarket, pub and corner shop going. It's just not commercially viable. And this is where Romla comes in. They host these jobs in their app so someone locally can complete them for them instead. And it's all no strings attached. You don't need to do an interview, you don't need a CV, you don't need to do a certain amount of hours or even completing a certain amount of tasks. All you need is a smartphone and a referral code from any existing user. And I'm going to go on a limb and say you've got a smartphone. So all you need, I guess, is a referral link. I wonder who you could DM to get an activation code from. Or maybe there's a link in the description below which is for a Facebook group where you could get one. I'm really struggling, I've got to say. But once you do get an activation code, you can jump on the app straight away and do as little or as much as you really want. It's whatever suits you. But let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. Let me give you a quick overview of how Romla works. The economics of the app work a little like this. Let's say Pepsi want Romla to check Tesco's displaying their latest flavour of their Pepsi Max range. Romla will put, say, 100 stores in their app to be checked with the agreement they'll get 80% of these stores covered with this brand agreement with Pepsi. They might initially offer £2 for this call to be completed, but if they're struggling to get 80% coverage, then they'll increase the amount on offer, which could get as high as, say, to £8, just for checking something is stocked on a shelf. Another way the app works is that you can only reserve a task for a certain time slot, which is usually 2 hours. As, firstly, they don't want people to purposely go out of their way to do a call and then find out that someone has done it before them, just beforehand. Or equally, they don't want someone to keep reserving all the tasks and not doing them. The last function you need to be aware of is how many tasks you can reserve at once. The way it works is the more tasks you do on the app, the more XP you get. The more XP you collect, the higher your level, the more tasks you can reserve at once. Once you've completed your tasks, you submit your work, which is usually accepted within 24 hours. It has taken as short as 5 minutes for me before, but it's also been one which took as long as 5 days, but this is an exception. But when it does get accepted, you get paid. And this is actually transferred into your PayPal account straight away. Your money can be that ready to spend that quickly. Okay, you understand how the app works. But what tasks do you have the option of doing? Well, in my mind, there's around 8 different types of tasks. Some of them you'll prefer, some of them you won't bother with. It's all personal preference. The first is your straightforward mystery shopper task. Simply walk into a shop, check a certain item is in stock, take a photo and walk out. Really straightforward, £2, but it can get as high as paying £6 if the task is left there for a while. The next are planogram checks. A little more complicated, but basically check the products in the right spaces where they should be. So similar to the mystery shopper task, but take a little bit longer. They tend to pay between £5 to £10. After this, you have compliance checks. This is basically checking that a given product is in some sort of specific plan or specific stand, or it has the correct promotional or point of sale attached. This requires signing into the store and potentially speaking to some members of staff. Nothing that complicated. And these pay around between £4 to £8. And they actually sometimes offer bonuses if you decide to top up the stand if it's empty for maybe another £4. Next, you have questionnaires, which don't require you to be anywhere or in any certain place at a time to complete it. So you can complete them while parked in your car or just simply sat on your sofa. And these normally pay the lowest, around £2, but they're pretty easy going. Next, you have some of my favourites, getting paid to buy stuff, which you can claim back straight after, meaning you've been paid to buy free stuff. It could be pints, could be pet food, or it could be sweets. Literally anything. These tasks pay anywhere from £3 to £10, as well as keeping what you've bought. Next, you probably have the most involved tasks of them all, which are sales tasks. Basically, these are little like the other tasks, but if they aren't complete, then your job is to sort it out, basically. Which means signing into the store, going into the back potentially, and putting out the relevant item on the shelf. These are the most difficult tasks of them all, but they generally pay the most, anywhere between £7 to £12. Finally, you have online reviews. You can get paid for reviewing products, but you do need to show proof that you've actually bought the product, so you can't really fudge it if you're thinking about it. These generally pay a low price of £2, but you do get to keep the products for free. There are other tasks you can do, but they don't pay, but they give you XP instead. So if you want to boost your level a little bit quicker, you can also do a few of these alongside. They're typically short questions or surveys which only take a few seconds to a few minutes. So that's the app, but realistically, how much can you make? Well, I would class myself as a very casual user. After all, I have a full-time job and I literally only do it if it's right next to me while I'm out and about. There's a really cool feature on the app where you can actually set an alert when you're very close to a call or task that you happen to be near. I might be out doing a food shop and my phone will buzz and it'll let me know there's a task that literally involves me taking a few photos for £5 while I'm there. Or I could be walking into a pub to find out that the first drink I'm going to order, I'm going to get for free. And on top of that, I'm actually going to be paid for doing so. But based on this approach, how much have I made over the past few years on this app? Well, if you're interested, then I'll put a link on the screen right now for you to find out that information. Feel free to click at your leisure. Again, if you want to give the app a go, then do shoot me a DM on Instagram, or there's a Facebook page in the link in the description below that you can click on. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.